All right, Barrett, look into the camera and concentrate. This is a very special chair. It's from a famous magician.
How cool was that? An opportunity to talk with David about Homer Liwag. But that wasn't it. We have the opportunity to do something else that's really special on this tour here in Las Vegas, and that's take a look deep inside the museum, the private museum of David Copperfield. Homer Liwag's here inside the museum, which is just down from MGM in the Strip. And Homer, what is this? This is a pretty cool story.
This is peanut brittle. Go ahead and open it. Okay, no, you better not. We're in David's museum, and this is kind of where it all began. This is the actual counter at Macy's department store in New York City, where David used to come as a kid. I think his mom used to take him to the store, and a magician would demo magic in this case, and this is sort of one of the beginnings of David's magic. And as you see, we're surrounded by magic kits from the 15th century, from the French, all the way to the Gilbert. Miss Gilbert made, I think, erector sets also. That's what they're known for, but they're Misto magic sets going into, I believe, as far as the 1980s. So just incredible history here.
I mean, with somebody like you who just loves illusion, magic, this is like a proverbial playground for somebody like you.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
This is just incredible. But there's so much more here. It's not
There's a lot here, and I'm not really, honestly, well versed in magic history as much
Sure.
as, David just loves opening up a new box from an auction and just looking at and making connections. One thing that David's great about is finding two things from two different magicians that have a history together and finding that connection, or finding an old poster that there's only one of a kind and digging through his archives and finding an actual photograph of that poster on location in a city. That David just loves that.
And we have some examples of that, and another guy by the name of Houdini.
Yes.
Some stuff. Let's go take a look at it.
All right. Follow me. If Houdini were alive today, this would be everything he's famous for. Metamorphosis trunk. That was the trunk that he and Bess switched places in less than a blink of an eye. The famous milk can escape. Iron Maiden escape. And that's the water torture cell.
This, you told me off camera, was actually involved in a fire, and you and your team actually went through incredible lengths to really make it look, at least on the back end, preserve its history in a way that probably nobody else could. Talk about that.
Yeah, the only thing left was the metal and the glass, which was very special, but all the wood had burned away. And we had a few days before a big magician's convention to restore it. So I led the team that restored this. We got reclaimed hardwood, and the idea wasn't to restore it so it wasn't brand spanking shiny new like you'd restore a car, but I would actually wanted to look like that it was something that Houdini actually used. When he was done performing it, put it in a crate, and decades later we opened it up and it's exactly how it looks. We have the water aging and the stress, and sort of if you look closely, you'll see wear and tear on the handles like if it was actually used in a show, which it was, but we wanted the wood to feel like that, and we didn't want to over-restore it.
This right here is a really incredible piece too, just in the history of a magic and illusion. This is the only known recording of Houdini's voice. In fact, the placard here, October of 1914. Check this out.
Harry Houdini, October the 29th, 1914, Flatbush, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, I take great pleasure in introducing my latest invention, the water torture cell.
That's this right here.
Although there is nothing supernatural about it, I claim that it is absolutely impossible.
Wow, just looking around here, Homer, it's just amazing just to see the history, and it's a private museum right now, and for good reason too. I mean, you can talk a little bit about why this is not, at least now, open to the public, and explain that a little bit.
Well, let's just see how dense everything is out in the open. If you go to any other museum, things that are very delicate, like this, for example, couldn't be knocked over. But this is basically, it's David's personal collection. It's like his living room, and that's why we can only give private tours and to scholars. Movie directors come here when they were shooting, for example, the movie The Prestige. Christopher Nolan came here and did research, and Adrian Brody just did Houdini.
And the LaSalle Alumni Office. Huh? In the LaSalle
Exactly.
Huh?
But as you see, it's very cozy, and even David likes carpet. A few museums have carpet in them because they're high traffic, but David likes his coziness, like it's someone's living room, and it's just everywhere you turn, there's just amazing history. So
it's incredible.
You are sitting in Houdini's chair, personal chair.
Really?
Yes. How's it feel?
Magical.
Very good.
Wow.
Come over here, sit in this chair.
This one here?
Yep. All right, Barrett, look into the camera and concentrate. This is a very special chair. It's from a famous magician. His name was Drop-Off Feeney. Chair Falloverini. Thank you very much. You're now officially a member of our...
Whoa. There's a lot of people back at school that would have loved to see that in slow motion, I think.
Yeah. The seniors in band camp would have loved to have this for me.
Absolutely. How much fun do you have with that?
A lot of fun. How much? Well, you tell me.
That was fun. Was not expecting that.
All right, come this way.
That was awesome.
You'll never sit in a chair.
Where was that chair from?
That chair is by a company called Dumoulin, the Dumoulin brothers. At the turn of the century, they were famous for making hazing devices. So when you would be initiated into a lodge, that would be something they'd put you in, and they'd blindfold you, and that's supposed to be a .22 caliber cap would go off, bang, then you fall over. And they came up with all sorts of hazing devices. For example, binoculars. The most basic would be binoculars that you look through and that leave black circles in your eyes. Or strength testers. You go to pull a handle as strong as you can, and a cap goes off, and water sprays in your face, and a piece of wood comes up and slaps you in the ass. Things like that. So
that sounds like my kind of company. I like that.
Yes, and now they do band uniforms.
So you got a little bit of history in you. An incredible opportunity here in Las Vegas, from Cincinnati to Las Vegas, and I think it's a pretty fair assessment that this was my favorite Alumni Spotlight yet. Taking a couple days as well. A lot of good stuff here in Homer. I cannot begin to thank you and of course David Copperfield for opening up basically his home to us here, and specifically to you. Proud of you, so proud of you, what you've done, and really opening your doors as well for all of Lancer Nation to see the incredible things you've been doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to kind of connect back with my roots and just kind of figuring out, a lot of who I am is because of my time at LaSalle, and it's great that you're bringing all this history together for generations of Lancers together. So thank you.
And we're looking forward to coming back as well. David will be giving us a personal tour when the new wing, perhaps, is finished, and we got a little walkthrough, and maybe a year from now we'll come back and get a personal tour, you and David giving us that as well. What an absolute experience here in Las Vegas. A lot of folks are looking forward to this Alumni Spotlight, and we hope you are too. Until next time, for our videographer on this incredible adventure, Jeff Thomas, along with our videographer back at home, Chris Knight, I'm Barrett Cohen with Homer Liwag. Remember, Lancers roll deep.